In this video, we're going to discuss the difference between a prime lens and a zoom lens. The kit lens is appealing to some people because it has a different focal length. It generally has a wide angle to a moderately telephoto zoom. So people are going to think, oh yeah, the kit lens, it's great, because that way I can get the best of both worlds. When I need it to be close to a subject and I'm very far away, I can zoom in. And when the subject's close, I can zoom out. And generally, yeah, that's pretty handy in good lighting situations and when you don't need a shallow depth of field. However, if you're not in extremely well-lit situations, you're going to find that you're having to turn your ISO up in your camera to compensate for the low light. And the higher your ISO is, the greater the film grain. The more zoomed in you are, also the more light that you're going to need. A prime lens has a fixed focal length and generally has a fast aperture speed. So for example, this is a 20mm f1.7. This lens is extremely good for low light and shallow depth of field. Believe it or not, prime lenses are more conducive to creativity in your shots. If you're stuck to a single focal length, you're more likely to get in close, you're more likely to move around, whereas if you had a zoom lens, what happens is people who use zoom lenses generally tend to stay in one spot, whereas people who have a single focal length that they have to work with are forced to move around, to plan their shots beforehand, and to think about, how am I going to shoot this? That's why a lot of times when people shoot their home movies and they're using a camcorder or a handy cam that has, 40 times optical zoom, you'll see them zoom in, zoom out, zoom in, zoom out, but you won't ever see them move around. But if you have somebody without a zoom on their camera, what are they going to do? They're going to go and get close. And it's very important when you're doing filmmaking that you're going to have creative shots from different angles. And the best way to do that is to be stuck to one focal length, especially when that focal length allows you to have a shallow depth of field and also allows you to have greater light capabilities. If you're using a Canon DSLR, I highly recommend the 50mm f1.8 prime lens. It's plastic, but it's fantastic. If you're going to get into the Micro Four Thirds system, I highly recommend the 20mm f1.7 lens. It generally runs around $300. You really don't need the kit lens unless you're going to be doing things where you are going to be very far away from your subject, or you're going to be recording events where you'll need a zoom lens. But other than that, for creativity, for interviews, for short films, you're really going to be better off using a prime lens. Thank you for joining me. Check out our other videos. We've got great series on audio. We've got great series on lighting. We've got great contests coming up that will allow you to win some prizes. God bless you and God love you. Take care.